Hey, Coach Anthony Williams, founder and CEO of Connected Athletics, back at you again with another interesting prospect out of the Houston area. Before we get to Darius, I want to tell you a little bit about Connected Athletics and our Spotlight podcast. We're a startup company based in Austin, Texas. We're focused on helping student athletes successfully transition from high school to college and then into a career and employment once their eligibility is over or once their NFL playing career is over or their professional career. We are trying to make sure that these student athletes are starting to get a platform to tell their story. It's great that high school coaches can tell it and parents, but there's a time when college coaches want to hear it directly from the athlete. And with this COVID-19 recruiting environment that we're in and the dead period right now by the NCAA, players aren't getting on campus and coaches aren't getting outside. So these videos are hopefully going to be helpful to prospects like Darius, get this story out there and help move them further down the recruiting process. Before we get into it, I want to thank our sponsors right now. I'm going to bring them up. We've got three great sponsors that are sponsoring the podcast right now. One of them is a company up in Nebraska called Go Edit. They do really fancy edits for individuals, for athletes, and for athletic departments to showcase their schedule or their athletes or player stats. So really appreciate them allowing me to use their software to create some really dazzling edits for some of our guests on the podcast. Next sponsor is Buffalo Wild Wings. I think everybody likes wings, and they came on board earlier this year, and they are trying to spread the culture of Texas high school football through their sports bars. And so we want to thank them for showcasing two schools in Houston and two schools in San Antonio. They've been a tremendous sponsor, and I really want to thank Buffalo Wild Wings. And then lastly, Epic. Epic stands for Every Play I Compete. They are a new and exciting sports apparel business run by a good friend of mine, Stefan Johnson, out of the Houston area. If you're interested in some of their gear, go to their Twitter page right now at I am Epic 247. They do uniforms, they do gloves, they do a little bit of everything, 7-on-7 uniforms, game uniforms, face mask, everything you can think of. So look them up also. So I want to thank our three sponsors right off the bat here. But now let's get to why we're really here tonight, and that is to talk to this really interesting prospect we have on the podcast with us. Darius Howard is a class of 21 defensive back from Houston Heights High School, obviously in the Houston area. He's got good size for a DB, 6 foot, 190 pounds. Stronger GPA of 3.85. Darius, how you doing this evening?
I'm doing great. I'm really thankful to be on this podcast with you.
No, man, I'm looking forward to hearing your story, and thanks for coming on. I know that there's the end of the season's coming up, and we're about to get into that time when college coaches are going to be crossing their T's and dotting their I's on prospects. And so we're happy to have you on here to kind of share your story because you're more than your huddle video. And we're going to jump into that here shortly. Obviously, the most important thing that all college coaches want to know about is the academics. You can't play if you can't qualify and be eligible. That's obviously not a problem for you with that strong 3.8 GPA. Tell us about the importance you put on your academics.
So my academics has always been important to me. My parents, since I've started playing football, my parents have pushed me to just be academically strong. And my parents have always made sure that academics was first. So I feel like that's a standard that my parents have held me to, and that I hold myself to. And I try to surround myself with people who hold me to that standard as well. So I think academics is just really important for me, and I feel like that's allowed me to be in as many situations as I am now.
Yeah, it's a great response, Darius. As I always tell athletes, football will come to an end one day. And if you don't have your education to fall back on, it can be a very tough life. So I'm glad to hear you put so much focus on your academics and getting your degree and having a plan after football, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But let's talk about, what are some of your favorite classes that drive that strong GPA?
I would say I'm a history geek. I like learning about different events. I like learning about why things are the way they are now. Um, I think that learning from the past will help the future. So I feel like
Mm-hmm.
knowing what happened before will aid in helping
Yeah.
us fix what's going on now and in the future. So that's always been something that I've been interested in.
Now, it completely makes sense. History will help us repeat the mistakes of the past and help us prepare for the future. So, you are one of many athletes that are very interested in history, especially what's going on in our country right now. So, it's great to hear that. Us as student athletes, me a former student athlete, you a current one, there's always a teacher or a tutor or a coach or somebody that's helped us, a counselor along the way academically. Take this time to shout out somebody either from elementary, middle, or high school who's had an impact on your life academically.
Man, it's so many. Every teacher pretty much in elementary school, middle school, every teacher in middle school. Miss Harris, my eighth grade math teacher, she was amazing. Um, Miss, oh man, uh, Coach Evans was one of my
Mm,
teachers. Um, man, I've had a
a
lot of
lot of
amazing
them.
teachers.
Yeah.
There's so
And
many.
I assume that all those different teachers help make learning fun, and that's why you have such a good academics, correct?
Yes, sir. Like Coach and Coach Davis. Coach Davis was one of my science teachers in 11th grade. He made everything simple and he made it fun in a way that we were learning, but felt like we weren't learning. So I feel
Yeah.
like that's been very effective in helping me get to where I am right now.
No, awesome. I appreciate you shouting them out. You're in your senior year right now. Have you thought about what you're going to major in when you get to college next year?
Yes, sir. So something that I really want to do, I really want to go into athletic training. I want
Okay.
to go into athletic training, and eventually, once I get the master's degree in that, I want to open up a physical therapy business,
Okay.
and I want my business to kind of be a gym and physical therapy in
Yeah.
one. So I want to be able to have all that in one place.
That's a great business model. So you can think about majoring in kinesiology or physical therapy, or have you thought about that yet?
Well, I know Gustavus is adopting a new athletic training program with a
Hmm.
master's degree. So um, that has kind of guided me in my decision and what exactly I
Yeah.
want to do. Yes, sir. But I know that is going to be my major going into Gustavus, and then after that, getting the master's in that. Then if I need something else, then I'll just do that to get to opening up that business.
Man, Darius, really impressive that you're one of few. Let's be honest, a lot of players pick their schools and where they commit to based on uniform combo, or they won their conference, or it's a winning program, or I'm going to be on TV. It sounds like you did a lot of research and found, hey, this school's got a really good athletic training. That's what I want to do. It's going to help me out when football's over. I so respect that. Um, my favorite question is, tell me what year, when the game is over, whenever that is, whether you play in the NFL for 10 years or after college, what do you want your life to look like, professionally and personally?
Professionally, I want to open my business.
Hmm.
I want to be well off, and I know that's just kind of cliche, but I want to be able to open my business. I want to be able to obviously provide for a family if I do end up having a family, provide for myself.
Hmm.
And I want to be able to enjoy the fruits of all the work that I've put in
Yeah.
from being high school to the end of college. So I want to be in a position where I'm able to benefit from all of those things.
Yeah, makes sense. I like that. Learning styles is something that as college coaches we talk about a lot. Tell these coaches what type of learning style best suits you. Are you more of a verbal, visual, or hands-on learning style?
Hands on, hands
Okay.
on. Um, a lot of times, and it really kind of depends on what subject it is. Math, I need to be hands on because I can look at something and I'll understand it, but me doing it 100 times is really going to help me get it down. So I just feel like me being hands on is the best way for me to go about it.
Okay, makes sense. We talk about body language in football, especially on the field, but we never talk about body language in the classroom.
Mhm.
Eventually, coaches will be able to get back on campus and come see prospects, and they're always going to come by the classroom. Tell these college coaches, what are they going to see of you if they peek into your classroom right now? If, obviously not doing virtual learning, but if they were to see you in class, are you sitting up front? Are you engaged with the teacher? Tell us about your body language in the classroom.
Yes, sir. I've always been an upfront person, sitting in the front. Me personally, I like to have a relationship as good of a relationship as I can with all my teachers. Where is that like as personal as it can be? Like for example,
Mhm.
Coach Davis, that's probably the best teacher-student relationship I've ever had, just because we were able to relate on so many levels. So I try to take that approach with every teacher that I have and every class that I have.
Good.
Um,
That's a good mindset.
okay.
Hey, let's switch over to learn more about you and your family. Tell us about your mom and dad, what they do. Are you an only child? Are you the oldest, the youngest? Give us a little bit of background on the Howard family.
Okay, so my mom and my dad, I live with both of my parents. My mom is
Hmm.
a teacher and my dad is a police officer. I have an older brother, and two nieces. Um, that's my immediate family. The rest of my family is just amazing. Um, I can't I can't say enough about them. They're just amazing, supportive. They love me to the fullest. I love them to the fullest. I mean, they're just the best to be around, and I can't ask for a better family.
Okay. Well, hearing that your dad is a law enforcement, and I've got law enforcement and military in my family, and we never say enough for law enforcement. But tell your dad thank you for his service. You know, it's a tough time right now, and I'm glad that he's safe and being a great mentor and parent for you. Tell us, parents, were they former athletes? Any other athletes in the family, or just you?
Both of my parents were athletes. My brother was an athlete. My brother went to Nimitz High School and played um, guard, I think. My
Hmm.
dad went to Eisenhower and played tight end and went to
Okay.
Howard. And my mom played softball and ran track at Albany High
Nice.
School. Yes, sir.
Okay. And every college coach loves, athletes that come from a family of athletes. The next question is about your size. You've already got really good size. The senior 6 foot 190 is ideal size for DB, but you still got a growth spurt. I mean, how tall are your mom and dad? So colleges can kind of prospect like, what does this kid gonna look like in a couple years?
Okay, so my dad is around 6'1", 6'2", and my mom is 5'7", I believe.
Okay.
So yes, sir.
So you maybe got another growth spurt in you, huh?
I'm hoping so. I'm hoping
Okay.
so.
All right. Tell us, I know you spend a lot of time getting ready for the season, and obviously in season takes up a lot of your time. When you have some spare time, what are some of your hobbies? What are some of your interests? What do you do when you get some free time?
Man, free. I don't have a lot of free time.
Yeah, I know.
When I do get free time, I try to relax as much as possible.
Mm,
Because I'm always moving around doing something. I stretch a lot. I stretch a lot.
mm.
Stretching, making sure that obviously I spend time with my family, um, and just making sure that I'm taking care of any other business needs to be taken care of.
Okay. Are you a video game guy at all? You like playing a little Madden 2K or no?
Uh, I play a little bit. Yes, sir, I play Madden a little bit. I don't play it as much as I used to, but
Hmm.
I do play a lot.
Yeah, I'll tell you something, and once again, full disclosure, being keeping it real, a lot of the players that have a GPA like yours don't have time to play video games. The players who wish they had a GPA like yours, oh yeah, coach, I spend a lot of time playing Madden, and so it's just, you are where you put your time, and obviously with your GPA and the focus on your family, it shows where you're putting your spare time. There's nothing against playing games, but there's got to be a balance, and so I appreciate that you already understand that at such a young age. Darius, that recruiting takes place on social media. For these
Mhm.
coaches that maybe haven't visited your Twitter page, tell them what they're going to see. What kind of message, what kind of brand are you putting out there about yourself as a student athlete?
So on my Twitter page is me showing how much I work. Um, a lot of videos of me training, a lot of game clips. So I'll have some clips in there, like one or two plays from a game that I might have had the day before or 2 days before. I'll put those on there and put those out there on social media just to show people that I never stop working, that I'm always doing something. I think that's something that I've tried to to show through my social media is that I'm always doing something to get better and to improve myself. Academically and athletically. So all of that is on my Twitter. Everything that I do to better myself in both of those areas, it's on there.
Okay, I like it. That's a great response. Hey, rapid fire questions here. Don't even think about it. Just give me an answer. What's your favorite all time football movie?
Mm. Oh man, Rudy, Rudy,
Okay, Rudy, that's a different one. That one we don't hear very often. What's your favorite food?
chicken Alfredo.
Okay, I like it. Uh, Tell me, Nike or Adidas,
Nike.
Marvel or DC Comics.
Marvel,
Okay,
yeah.
all right, okay. Tell me, do you prefer? Tell me about your music taste. Who do you listen to, and do you have a favorite artist?
I listen to a lot. I can't have a favorite artist. I listen to every genre except rock music. To me,
Okay.
I listen to everything.
Okay, I like that wide variety. Appreciate that. Hey, fast forward here. Let's say you have a 4 great years in college, and you find yourself in New York City at the NFL draft. Who is sitting with you at your table, waiting for the commissioner to call your name?
I wish I could bring everybody. I wish I could bring my parents, my brothers, my cousins. I wish I could, but most likely my parents and um, I don't know how many people you can bring, but my parents and whoever my agent is, most likely.
Okay. All right, I like it. It's great as a student athlete. You now, me, way back in the day, high school and college and pro, and having people watch you play. Full support from a high school community. Tell us what you're doing to give back to the community that you live in. Are you a part of your church? Are you a part of nonprofits? What are you doing to give back for the thanks and support they give you on Friday nights?
Yes, sir. So I do a lot. I've done a lot of community service since I've been in high school. One thing that I do now at my church, First and Hope Bible Church, I'm the audiovisual
Okay.
coordinator. So I coordinate audio visuals and everything that goes on in that field. But I've done a lot of community service with the church and just me and my parents or me and my school going to Houston Food Bank. My church also has a food pantry that we operate. So I've I've, I've done that a couple times. Doing social projects with my school, yes sir.
Hmm.
I've done that too. So I make sure I try to keep myself around those type of activities because I know that if it wasn't for the people that have supported me, then I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now.
Amen to that. I got a big smile on my face right now, Darius, because I was also the audio visual guy at my church when I wasn't playing bass in the choir. So I haven't heard anybody else say that except for you. So it's a very special audience there for sure. I appreciate that. Hey, tell me, we talked about it earlier, but communication is important as an athlete. Tell these coaches who are watching, how do you best like to communicate? Are you a hey face-to-face conversation? Call me, text me, DM. Which way do you prefer to communicate?
I prefer face to face, but obviously that's not always it's not always an option. So I prefer face to face. I like having physical conversations with people,
Yeah,
where people can look me in the face and I can look them in the face, and they can see how I am in person. But texting is fine, calling is fine. Any way that I can communicate, then I would love to communicate.
okay, good stuff. Let's switch over a little bit about recruiting and you as a player. One of my favorite questions: how would your teammates describe you as a teammate?
Mm, worker, worker. I don't when I'm in practice. I don't talk a lot unless I'm on the field. Like I don't do a whole lot of playing and
Hmm.
everything else that goes on. I'm way past that. Like when I'm in practice, I'm dialed in, doing what I'm supposed to be doing what I'm coached to do, making sure I'm being a leader, being vocal, like I'm supposed to be, telling other people where they're supposed to be, making sure I'm doing my job. But personally, my teammates they really enjoy being around me, and I enjoy being around them. Um, I'm a I'm a laid back person, but when I'm at practice and when I'm at games, I am there for a reason.
Right.
So yeah.
I like that. The dialed in. I like that a lot. Hey, getting towards the end of your season here, 4 great years in high school. As a DB, what would you consider your strengths right now, and what are some of your weaknesses that you're working on as you transition to college?
So as a DB, I feel like I can play all three DB positions. So corner,
Okay.
safety, tackle. I pride myself from a safety standpoint. I pride myself on being able to come down and tackle
Yeah.
anytime and being able to run from hash to hash, sideline to sideline in the back end. As a corner, I pride myself on being physical at the line and not letting receivers get any free releases, not letting receivers being able to run up the sideline. And as a nickel, I think that I can be as versatile as anyone would need me to be. I can be the nickel that plays the hook curl. I can be the nickel that comes off the edge in a blitz package. I can be versatile in any defense. I can fit anywhere. Something that I think I can improve on is just my overall, I guess, just refining technique, getting better at
Hmm.
technique, getting better at the little things, just getting faster, stronger, learning the game a lot more. I feel like I've grown in that area, just growing more, learning the game, studying the game, just learning different little things about how offenses like to do it and how I can counter it and different things like that.
Okay. I love the fact that you're, as a father and a coach of DB, and my son played in the NFL. He was a defensive back also. I always differentiate between those players that call themselves DBs and those that say, "Oh, I'm a corner, I'm a safety." When you're a DB, I can play corner, I can play nickel, and I can play safety. I love that you understand the different nuances because there's a lot of corners that can't play safety, and there's a lot of safeties that can't play corner. And nickel, as you know as a player, it's a whole different world. It's different from
Yeah,
corner and from safety. But anybody who hasn't seen Darius' film yet, you can see that he can move. He closes ground fast. He's physical in the run game. He can make plays off the edge. He can play man to man. He's got good ball skills. I mean, check all the boxes when you watch the video. So very much respect your game here. Hey, tell us a little bit about recruiting right now. I know there's some exciting news I saw online, but I'll let you break the news. So tell us about what's been going on with the recruiting, what's your journey been like, and where you're at right now.
yeah, sir. So I just committed to Gustavus Adolphus College in Minnesota. It's a really great school, amazing coaching staff. Coach Merg is an amazing coach. My recruiting journey it's been it's been a blessing, to say the least. It's been it's been challenging a lot of times, and it's been very rewarding as well. I feel like me being at Gustavus is the best place for me to be right now, and I'm glad that I have the opportunity to be there with those coaches and that team. Um, I feel like me being in the position I was in academically and with my grades being as good as they were, it's allowed me to surround myself with a different clientele of people to,
Mm-hmm.
to help me in different arenas. So I feel like the networking that I've been able to do during this whole recruiting process has really helped me as well. So this
Yeah.
recruiting process has helped me in more than just football, and I think that's amazing.
No, that's great. You pull out those best practices that definitely will help you. Everybody's recruiting is different. But let me ask you this. One of my other favorite questions is you're a senior now. Now that you've been through the process and you're committed to a school, what would you tell yourself now if you as when you were a freshman on how to handle the next 4 years of high school?
Wait your turn. Wait your turn. Don't compare yourself to anybody else. Don't look at somebody else and see what they're doing, see what they have going on, and think that you should be where they at or think that you should have what they have. Because if you work as hard as you say you work, then you will get whatever you deserve to get. Um, and if you feel that you should get something better than what you have, then work for it and prove that you should get something more. So I would just tell myself to just wait my turn and be patient and just continue to work because that's what I've done, and I feel like that has afforded me the opportunity to be at Gustavus.
Yeah, great response. Love it. That's a great response. Hey, as we finish up here, I'll let you get back to your night. But another thing coaches want to know about is, Darius, how do you define leadership and how have you been leading as a player, as a senior on your team this year?
So there's two different types of leadership. Obviously, there's by example, and then there's vocal. For the longest, I've been just a by example kind of guy, but I feel like now with me being a senior and with me just having to lead a team, I feel like I have to be able to do both. So that's something that I've gotten better at this year, being a more vocal person. Because like I said before, I'm not like outside of football. I'm not a loud person. I'm not a
Mm,
very I'm not a very attention seeking person. But I've learned on the field that when you want to be a leader, then you have to be able to do both. So I feel like me being a vocal leader is something that I've gotten better at. Me being able to communicate with everybody and being able to convey messages with everybody. That's something that I've gotten better at. And just being able to do what I'm supposed to do and that will honestly just take care of itself in terms of being a leader by example. But me being a vocal leader is something that I've gotten way better at this year. And I feel like that's helped me and it's helped the team a lot.
Ah, that's a good assessment of yourself. I definitely would agree with that. Hey, last couple questions here. I've never met a college coach that didn't like coaching a player that had a really competitive spirit.
Mhm.
Tell us, what kind of competitor are you? How much do you love to compete?
Man, competition competition always finds me, and that's what I love about football is that you can't run away from competition. Like if you say that you're good, then when competition comes around, you can't run away from it. You have to show that you're as good as you say you are. So I feel like I'm never the type of person to just put out there how good I am. I've never been that type of person, but I enjoy competing against people who are ranked higher than I am, or people who have um, more offers than I do, or they have however many D1 offers and I have however many Division 3 offers. I enjoy that type of competition because it allows me to prove myself. Because I know how good I am and I know how much work I put into
All right.
my craft. So I like competing against that kind of talent, against
Mm-hmm.
4 and 5 stars. And I feel like that is the type of competitor I am. I'm a silent assassin.
So
That's
I
it.
like it. Yeah.
That's yes, sir.
Well, and the thing I'll tell you, I tell all the other student athletes over my 25 years of coaching, as soon as you get on campus, those stars, whether how many you have, they fall off and everybody's back to ground zero. So it doesn't really matter about all them stars and stuff. Hey, let's finish up here and let you get back to your night. We call this the elevator pitch, and with you already being a commitment right now, instead of you telling college coaches, look in the camera right now, Darius, and tell the fans of Minnesota and Gustavus College what can they expect of you on the field and off the field.
So on the field, you're going to get 110%. You're going to get a physical defensive back. Comes down to hits, being able to play deep third, being able to play deep quarter, being able to run from hash to hash, sideline to sideline, make plays all over the field. Off the field, you're going to get um, a respectful person, just a nice, fun guy to be around. I'm always willing to talk to anybody. I love having conversations with people. I want people to come up and talk to me. So just they're gonna get just a respectful, a nice, warming person outside of the field. And yes, sir. I just think that Gustavus and St. Peter, they're gonna love me.
I love it, man. That is a great elevator pitch. Darius, I'm a fan. I mean, I've watched your huddle video already, but now talking to you, and I think a lot of coaches, and I know the coaches at Augusta will see this and be like, man, we are getting a future star, and your future is bright, both on and off the field, man. Kudos to your parents and your family, man. I wish nothing but the best for you going forward. If you ever need any assistance, you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me and use me as a resource, man. But I'm excited for you. I think you are definitely going to be a success both on and off the field and in life. So kudos to you, man. Have a great rest of your evening, man. Thanks so much for your time. We'll get this posted and good luck the rest of the season. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it very much.
All right. Thanks,
Yeah.
Darius.
All right.